So the All Blacks have just announced their lineup for the match up against the Springboks this weekend, and overall pretty similar to what we saw in Test match number 1, with a big return and a massive debut also on the cards. Jumping straight into it, there are a couple changes in the front row. Number 1, Ethan de Groot. Number 2, Samisoni Taukei'aho. He comes in due to the concussion of Cody Taylor, so Taylor never going to be playing in this game. Instead, Taukei'aho, who had quite the impact off the bench and also is right up there for leading try scorers, he gets the start. As the number 2, number 3, Tyrell Lomax. This will be his first start since making his way back from injury to get the opportunity off the bench in last week's fixture. In the locking duo, no changes here. Number 4, Scott Barrett, the captain, and number 5, Tupavai. It was a combination that worked. Both lineouts were under pressure last week, but keeping the same consistency in the locks, I think will bode well for the ABs here. In the loose forward trio, it is also identical to what we saw in match 1. Number 6, Simon Parker. He was the busiest player when it came to tackles in match number 1. Number 7, Adi Savia. And number 8, it is Wallace Atiti. For his first start last week, he was able to have the most carries out of any player. He's an absolute workhorse and a dangerous loose forward trio here. For New Zealand in the backline, this is where we start to see a few changes. Number 9, the return of Noah Hotham. Now, initially, he was expected to be out for another 2 or 3 weeks for his high ankle injury. He did end up getting surgery, and he's now been rushed straight back into the starting side, so you hope that isn't too early. They did have Finlay Christie last week do a very good job up against South Africa, so I just hope that that's not a case of trying to throw him in for the sake of getting minutes, rather than making sure that he has that 100%. Beauden Barrett, he will be slotting in as the 10, 2 try assists for that man in last week's game. In the midfield, it is Geordie Barrett alongside Billy Proctor, so no switches here. Some wanted to see Tupaia, some thought maybe Leonard Brown in that 13 jersey was an option, but sticking with that old Hurricanes duo at Sky Stadium as well, perhaps anything over 50 metres. If the All Blacks are keen, Barrett could be on that team. Number 11, this is where I would say the biggest curveball of the whole side happened. And not because it isn't Rieko Ioane, but more so because it isn't Caleb Clark. Leroy Carter in that number 11 jersey. He played for the Chiefs throughout Super Rugby Pacific. The man's nickname is Boomfa, and there is a good reason for it. He loves to run over opposition. He's a tough, grindy kind of player. We see that in the sevens when he used to play for the All Black 7 side. But now he gets that international debut. No Caleb Clark across this 23-man side, I will mention as well. But Rieko Ioane, the guy who had to make way for Leroy Carter to get the chance. I'm curious to see how he goes. I think the Springboks will try and put him under pressure, and he will be marking up with a man who will certainly want to welcome him to international rugby, that being Cheslin Colby. So you're pretty much going straight in there. You're facing one of the best wingers in the world, so it will be intriguing to see how Leroy Carter goes, but I'm certainly excited to see what he can do. Number 14, this is where we do see the transition from Will Jordan. He was playing fullback last week, now moves to that right wing side due to the injury of Amoni Narawa. And then number 15 in the starting lineup, it is Damian McKenzie. He's had a lot of minutes off the bench for New Zealand, including a huge amount last week, about 77 to be exact. And now he gets to partner once again with Beauden Barrett as the 2 playmakers in this All Blacks backline. Looking through at the bench, number 16, Brodie McAllister, number 17, Tamaiti Williams, and number 18, Fletcher Knowles. So going with that All Crusaders front row option off the bench for Razor. Number 19, Fabian Holland, and number 20, Duplessis Karefi. So it means we don't get to see a return of Luke Jacobson. No Peter Larkai as of yet, but there were always going to be very little changes when it came to the side. No real massive switches like we saw from the box. So that is about what we should have expected off the bench for this game. Number 21, Finlay Christie, so he still keeps his spot. Kyle Preston, nowhere to be seen in this lineup. 22, Quinn Tupaia, and number 23, it is Ruben Love. So he will get some minutes off the bench, and that is mainly because every other fullback is in the starting lineup, whether that be Jordan, McKenzie, Beauden, or Geordie. Because of that, Ruben Love finally gets himself a chance off the reserves. But that is the All Blacks lineup, ladies and gentlemen. The Springboks announcing their side on Monday. They've gone with a quick, young backline. New Zealand going with what worked in the first test match with a couple little tweaks. But the question is, can they do it again at Sky Stadium? Or will this match be the one where the Boks can make it a drawn series and head into that last round of the Rugby Championship with absolutely everything to play for? New Zealand, they are slight favourites, but of course when it comes to that 80 minutes, anything can happen, and I'm sure it will throughout this weekend. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. We will have a preview a little bit closer to kickoff, as well as the live commentary happening on the channel, so be sure to check that out as well. But if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. And subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.